All right. Now we're all serious. All right, so we're gonna pick up where we left off before I had my hiatus for the summer music camp, right? So we're looking at Neil Young again. We're just gonna level up like a hurricane after I have a sip of coffee again. Last time we got together, we just looked at the melody of it. And I have it set up probably, I would imagine, an octave higher than anybody sings, because it's... So it's pretty high, but I did that purposefully so that you'd be able to build a chord melody underneath the melody, because it's primarily on your first string. So what I'm going to do is just cut right to this, and I'm going to share my screen. And I'm just going to play along. And I'm going to take my time. First thing I'm going to do is play, I think I'll play to the end of the, you know what, we know how I go. I'm going to talk the whole time. That's what I'm going to do. So option 1 for playing this, if you're looking at it and you're like, oh, okay, how different is it compared to what we had before? Not much. I've just added in a few chords, and I tried to write it in wherever I added it in, the chords, to create a basic chord melody. So I'm going to play the first line with no chords underneath. Okay, so that's just going to be that, the 7-5-3-5, that part there. So that's that part there, the first string. And then what I did was I tucked in, like right here, I added in a 5 there, just on the second string. I thought about it. I thought, well, you could do opens. You could play strings 2 and 3 open if you felt so inclined. Or you could play the 5th fret on this string if you wanted more of an A sound. I have the open string option conveniently located right above it. Right there. So choice is yours. That would just be 7 and some opens underneath it. Strings 2 and 3. And it would sound like this. So we've got 2 chords that we're looking at on that first line. Now normally when I go through this, I try to write down different voicings as I go, and I forgot to do that for this one. But like I say, you could put in, let's see if I can do it here. Type text. You could put right here. You could have it open instead of the 5. It's not a 50, just an open. And another open right. Oh. Come on now. There we go. We'll put it there and move it up. So that would be the alternative, would be to have that instead of the 5. 7-0-0. Playing it now on this ukulele, I like that more. So I don't know. And then a full A minor, coming up to that melody there. If you look at this melody, or this part here, the G, last lesson, a couple weeks ago, I'm trying to do a review while we're looking at this at the same time. A couple weeks ago when I talked about these chords, I had said instead of doing the classic G shape, for some of these you're going to want to have a finger on the 5th fret. Now that shape sits right up here where I've highlighted it. And it gives you a more of an open sound. That's, if you want to analyze it correctly, that's a G5 chord. James Hill would call it more of a mandolin chord sound. If you're playing rock and roll, you might want to use that G. So instead of fret numbers 2, 3, 2, which would give you your regular G, this is 2, 3, 5 with your pinky on that 5th fret. If you say to yourself, it is too early in the morning to look at that chord shape, or too early in the afternoon, depending on where you are, just play the 5 and the 0. That'll give you plenty right there. So you just be pinching strings 4 and 1. You can do that too. Okay, so that's, you got options there, always with the options. Laurel uses that one a lot, the G5. Yeah, it's a great sounding chord. I really like it. So I'm going to go through and I am going to play the first line again. And instead of using right on that first part there where I've got 7 and 5, I'm going to play 7 and strings 2 and 3 open. So I strum it like a little C chord and sub out that 5. So instead of 7 and 5, try 7 and 0, 0. Or just play the melody on that first string. Choice is yours. If you're like, oh, I wonder what else Tina might do with that chord, I would also suggest this. For ones who are like, oh, I want to do something more, I'll move the wrong 0. Okay, well, whatever, you go down there. 7, 5, 0. Okay, that gives you this sound. And it sounds pretty tragic. So chord voicings, right? There's so many different ways to play these chords. It's endless. So it's a little bundle there of different ways to approach just the way that you would want to do a chord melody there when you're writing it. So I'm going to review that just so it's sitting right there on the recording. You could play the melody by itself, that 7th fret. Maybe you're like, oh, okay, I want to do the 7 and 5 together. Maybe instead of the 7 and 5, you say, okay, I like this chord shape up here that Tina has written. And if you look at it and you're like, wow, that doesn't look right. There's a little tiny 4 here. That tells you it's a weird, there's some things I really like about the program I use and some things I don't. This is the thing I'm not too fond of. What it amounts to is that the dot is right on the 7th fret in this chord chart. So 7th fret for the dot, strings 2 and 3 are open. That's the way that's written, but the 4 is there to indicate 4th fret, and I say to myself, oh, Guitar Pro, why don't you do it so I can just indicate the fret the dot is on? But that is too challenging, I guess. I don't know, whatever. So you could play 7th fret and the 2 strings open. I'm purposefully ignoring my 4th string because it'll make it sound more like a C chord if I play that. We don't want that. We want it kind of tragic. Okay, so step 1, play the 7th fret by itself. Step 2, maybe play 7 and 5 or 7, 0, 0. Feeling fancy? 7, 5, 0. Oops, there we go. Now I'm going to go through and play this, and I'm going to go, this time I'm going to go 7, 0, 0. Okay, here, I, Go nice and slow. 7 and 0, 5, 3, 5. Now I'm going to do an A minor strum for the word saw. 2nd fret for the word you. Now I've got in a for the frets 3 and 7, big stretch. I could play the full G5 chord as it's written, or play the note 5 by itself, that 5th fret, or maybe 5 and string 4, which is open, 5 and 0. 3, 2, 3, 5, and whatever floats your boat for that. 5 and open. That can be nice when you're adding in things, right? If you don't want to do too much. Or that whole G chord shape, which can be found right here. Okay, that's that one right there. Okay, so I'm going to play that line one more time. You guys choose the way you want to do it for your chords, because I gave you quite the options just with that A minor. Yeah. Here we go. You choose what you want to do. 1, 2, line 1, 7, 5, 3, 5, A minor, 2, 3 and 7 now. Finger goes back to that 5th fret. And there's another G chord at the end. You decide what you want to do. Fret 5 and open. Fret 5 by itself. The whole G5 chord. Okay. You guys are writing quite a bit there, so I'm going to give you a second to figure out. It's a choose your own adventure. What do you like the most? I'm just going to take a quick peek. Can I play it as per sheet first? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I will go right down to the end of that page. And you guys have seen some of the thought processes in my mind this morning. You'll find a lot of those G5s almost every time. You'll see this 5, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2 again. Then as you look around, here's another one. And why didn't I write the open on that? Yeah, probably not enough coffee. I would say not enough coffee there. It just keeps coming. I'm using that G5 chord shape almost all the way through. And the reason for that is because Neil Young, every time he goes to a G chord, he is singing this note, which is a D. So because he's got that, I'm just building that chord underneath it. Okay, so now I shall play it as I've written it, and I'm going to move this out of the way so you'll see it just move my little, there we go. Okay, here we go. I won't go too fast, so 2, 3, 4. Next line. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Next line. Last line. Oh, such a pretty song. So that's the verse there. The chorus is all lined up on the next page. And I want to explain to you guys what I did at the end here. This is the part where usually if I'm playing with Bailey, her and I, we might take turns soloing over this chord progression. Because you guys are at different levels of playing, what I did was in one bar, I wrote, for instance, this A minor chord, I wrote 700. That's a voicing you could use for the A minor up there. Or you might want to use this one, 789, which is just like making your E minor chord shape, but it's up on your 7th fret. Okay, so take a second there and say, okay, so then index finger, pointer finger would be on fret 7, and I just make that E minor shape. Yeah, I see a few people got it there. So that's another A minor chord, and just ignore the 4th string for that. So because I've got 2 bars to work with, I wrote 2 different voicings for each chord. You don't have to play both those chords. You can just, they're both just sitting there. You can choose what you want to do for those 2 bars of A minor. You might want to do 700 or 789. You decide. Okay. Same thing on the next line with the G chord. I've got the classic G chord written on measure 28 here. But if you are comfortable barring, you might want to try barring on the 7th fret with your pinky finger on the 10th. And then, yeah, roll right on, Kat. You've got that barring on the 5th fret there for the F. Yeah, right on. This is the nice thing, because if you play this G bar chord, this G bar chord here, and you choose to do an F bar chord, you bar on your 7th fret for the G, then you move everything down to your 5th fret, right there, okay? Or you want to do G, like the regular open G, and then the regular open F, you can do that too. Oh, there we go. E minor, I didn't give us any fancy options. I just left it as a regular E minor because we're coming to the end of that progression, so I just left it like that. So that's why it's written like that. Like with your G, you've got 2 different chords written out in tab. You just choose the adventure you want to take with that. Now I'm going to scroll up to the top of this and play through it. There we go. The chorus of Like a Hurricane is interesting in that you've got a rest on the 1st bar there with that C chord. I don't have anything there. And I did that because right now we're thinking more about a chord melody. So I don't want to chuck in chords when we don't have a melody. So for the chorus, I went, whoopsie, I'm on a smaller uke. I lost my frets. Hang on here. 7, 5, and then I bar on my 5th. I did this here. See the 3 with the 8? You can decide if you want to play 3rd fret and come down that 1st string, or if you want to stay up around the 8th fret, that same note is there on the 8th fret of the next string, which is kind of handy if you're already barring on the 5th fret. That doesn't sound right, that note though. Ta-da. I like to slide there. Oh, sorry. Then way up to your 12th fret. So I'm going to stop there and I'm going to play this again. But I want you to notice that with the chorus, it's kind of nice because really you've got a 2-bar phrase or 2-measure phrase, C, G, F, G, right there, the top little bit. It's just repeating, right? You've got C, G, F, G. Notes are very similar, 7, 5, 8, 8, 8, 5, 5. Next bit, there's comma in your eye, 7, 5, 8, 8, 5. It's not until the end of the second line that things really change. So if you were looking for a part in here that would be easy to memorize, this might be it, if you're looking at memorizing it. I'm going to play it again as it's written. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 7, 5, 8, 8, 8, 5, 5. 7, 5, 8, 8, 5. Next line. 7, 5, 8, 8. Sorry, 8, 8, 8, 5, 3, or 5. I'm kind of stuck on that C. I think we need to stay on the note D. Yeah, I think it needs to stay as a 5. See all that, you guys? Ignore that. Stay on the 5. I think it sounds weird. Yes, stay on the 5. There. Ignore these. Oh, I remember what I did before. Screwed everything up by fiddling around with doing anything extra. I'm going to stop right now. I think the 3 and the 8, just ignore that. Stay on the note 5, so you can just stay in that bar there with your finger on that 5th fret. Just like that. And then we've got so that was playing around with those F chords there, and then I've got up to that 12th fret. Now I added a little slide in there because chances are good your finger's going to be staying on that string anyway. So you have a little glissando. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to sit and fiddle around with those chords so you can hear what you can do at the end. Okay, so I did my 12, 10, 7, 5, okay, and I'm going to play around with the A minor chords. I've got 2 bars, and to start, I'm just going to do my, just the island strum. That's it. Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm going to do that 12, 10, 7, 5 again. Okay, and I'm going to go to my G. I'm going to hit my G bar chord. Another bar of that. F, barring on the 5th fret. E minor, G, or maybe you want and you might be like, well, what did Tina do there? I will show you. That's probably the easiest thing there. If that higher up A that I played that I didn't have written. Make your G chord like this one here, but play it as on your 4th fret. So the frets would be 4, 5, 4. Yep. So I'm going to sit and play through all of this, and I'm going to stop sharing it just so you can watch my hands a little bit, and then ask some questions. There we go. Okay, so like a hurricane, I played it as written, but as I play it, you know, I'm always changing how I play things. Like I'll fiddle around with different chord shapes or whatever, right? But I'll keep it pretty much how we had it, except with that 7/5 at the beginning. I'm going to toss in that third string open just so I have something to ring out. So big stretch there, 3 to 5. You could do, but then if you're making that shape, that 5, 3, 2, you might be landing like this. I can't stretch my fingers like that. I can, but I don't like to, you know, so I just drag back down with my baby finger. So I'm going to play that line again. Music sign. Two, three, 4. 2, 3, 4. I love that G5 chord so much. The song's really good for that G5 sound. And he might, there's other fingerings you could use, but I think that G5 sound, that kind of hollowy kind of folk sound, really works out well for this song. And it gives you a chance to practice it, right, over and over again. And if you're not too keen on it, or if your fingers are like, no more baby finger work, too much, that's where you can play just a 5 and the 4 string open. It gives you that same core sound. Oops, sorry, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about too much. All right. There, I did it. And what I did was I was just trying to pick string 1 and 4 to give you an idea about what it would sound like if you just did that. Barring. Let's talk about that, because there's that element of barring that's cruising through here. And you might be like, oh, my fingers don't feel so good for barring right now. Or maybe you're just not too sure about doing that barring. You could do this, okay, if you need to. Okay, you can always do, there's always a workaround. So that way, and then see how it looks like a D chord shape, 3 in a row? You can do that too. Now, I want to talk to you about the E minor 7 and the G. Let's just call it E minor to start with. The reason why I put this in the song the way I did was to point out something to you guys. Here we are. Okay, so we're looking right here. These two chords. A G chord uses the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and an E minor, in this case an E minor 7, uses a 4th fret on the 3rd string. That's the only difference between those two chords. E minor and G are very close to each other on your ukulele. The distance between them really is one note, the E. So when you're looking at this, you can have your E minor 7, 4 and 3, and I'm just looking right now at here. There's your 4th fret on string 3, 3rd fret on string 2. Then to give it that sweeter sound, you just drop that 4th fret down to the 2nd fret. Sometimes you don't really think about how nearly related these chords can be to each other when you're playing. They become just like here's an E minor and it's isolated, and here's a G and it's isolated, but they're really close to each other. And E minor and G, of course, often are found in songs with each other. And if you listen to this, what I played there was the E minor 7 as written there. The 5 is in brackets up at the top because that's the melody that's tied over there. But I played it and just let it ring out. Oh, sorry. E minor 7 because it's got the D. Then to the G. And then what I did was I played 7, 5, 0 over here. This is like a little extra in case someone's like, oh my gosh. Sorry, bring that back to black. That's what happened before, right? I started fiddling and everything went kind of haywire. I remember that from another time. There we go. If you play that, what you get then is this little descending line. That sounds just kind of neat. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Something to think about when you're writing chord melodies, when you feel like you're at a point where you want to think about how notes move on different strings. Now, Kat, I think that you've been doing chord melodies with your group. I think I'm right? Yeah, okay. So when you see a song that has an E minor to G to A minor, you might want to just consider doing that on your 3rd string, having the 4 and then the 2, can't highlight it, and then the open, because it's just a way to add another layer into that. Now, if you're not, like if people aren't at that point, don't worry about it. This is just an extra little thing for anyone that's interested. Okay. So that's why I put that in there. Also, it sounds cool. It all comes down to that too, right? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so anyway, it can add just a little bit more of a lush sound, and I think that might be the only place we have it. Just one time. Yeah, that's it. One time. I had to make the most of it. All right, so I am going to once more just sit and play the verse. Okay. Keeping in mind, you guys, that every G that you see, the melody, the fret that goes with that is going to be 5 on the 1st string. Okay, so we'll take it nice and chill. And if you're like, oh, okay, I can't do this, I got to just strum for a bit. 2 bars of A minor, 2 bars of G, And I am calling that F major 7 to F, but if you were strumming it, you just strum an F chord. Totally works. Also, if you're playing in a duo, you can have some people strumming while you play that melody. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 5, 3, 5, and then you've got your open 2, 3, 7, 5, 3, 2, 3, 5. So I'm just calling out the fret numbers of the melody, really. Okay, and now the next line, we've got the barring on that 5th fret with the 7th fret there. Here we go. 7, 7, 5, let it ring out. 3, full F chord. 2, 3, oh, 5, and then you can hit that 3 and 4. 2, 3, 4, and G5 chord again. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're on the 3rd line, and melody's pretty much the same as what we've had, but there's that little open on that 3rd string that I tucked in there. And yeah, okay, let's try this. Here we go. A minor, 5, 3, 5, A minor strum, 5th fret on that 1st string, 7, 5, 3, 2, 3, 5. If you wanted to, before I move on there, if you wanted to, when you're playing it at home, if you're like, this 3, 5 is too fast and then get in the chord, what you could do is just play that 3 on the 4th beat and this 5 right here. Don't worry about it, just strum it right here instead. So you can turn that into a quarter note, let it ring out on the 4th beat, and then that one would just come here on the 5. And I'll play that for you so you can hear what it sounds like. Sometimes that can make it a little bit easier. I had thought about changing that, and then I didn't. I thought it might be good just to talk about it. Sometimes when you're working on a song, you might think you can't change the rhythm at all, but you can, and it's okay. No, I think I see a chat there. Oh, Diane had to go. Oh. Okay, so again, you can do that. Just boop, take that out, just strum it there. Not the end of the world. I'll start again on that beginning of that 3rd line. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strumming there on the 7, 5, 3. Hear that scrabbling? That's my desperate dog. 3, 4, I. And that open for the word I is handy because it gives you a chance to get up to that 5th fret. If I don't let Finn in, we're gonna hear nothing but scrabbling, so excuse me, I gotta let the baby in. Finn, come on, it's okay, yeah, come on, oh, big boy. There you go. Yes, I know. He's gotta protect me, you guys. Protect me from, I don't know, from his chew toy that's in here, I guess. I want to check and see if anyone has questions about the verse or any insights about their playing or anything. Well, Finn like licks me and plays with his chewy. Looks like you guys are doing okay. We always look so serious in these classes. Oh, there you go, Finn. I know I'm scratching your little cheekies. It's nice that the songs, like the melody is quite repetitive. It's not like a a really wild melody that changes a lot, so it can make it easier to move around a little bit. Okay, I'll go to the chorus. And there's always different ways to arrange these songs. This is just one way. You guys take from it what works for you, and what am I trying to say? You can play it the way that feels right for you, right? Just keep in mind this spot here with the 3 and the 8. It's wrong notes. Just play the 5. So if you've printed off the sheet, scribble those off. Just hit the 5. That D is where we need to be. All right, here we go. So at the beginning of the chorus, and then we'll play all those chords. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, he's settled now. Okay, good. He's having a nap now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 7. Now 5. Bar on that 5th fret. Pinky on the 8. 8, 8, 5. Okay, next line. Boom. 7, 5. Back to that bar. So it's 8, 8, 8, 5, 5. Ignoring the 3 and the 8 in brackets. Ah. I am using, so this is my special F, right? Where I've got my pinky on that 3rd fret. So F with the 3rd fret added. And then I just land on a regular F chord there. And if the stretching feels like it's too much, you can always just eliminate that 4th string. There's nothing wrong with that. The number of times I do that, if my hand's tired, I just carry on. Okay, I'm going to play the next line now. And this, it's like he just takes a breath right there, right? Da 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 da. So you've got a chance to reset yourself. Oh, 3, oh, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then up high. 12, 10, 7, 5. Choose the A minor you want. And I'm just playing my island strum. I'm keeping it slow so you can think about what you're doing. Okay, here comes our F chord. E minor. Here comes our G. And A. Yeah, nice 4-5-4 for that A. You're right on. I'm going to stop sharing that just so you guys can watch me do those chords at the end. So, if I want to pick the lower road, nothing fancy for my strumming here, I'm just taking it easy. Did you guys hear all those little open strings I hit while I was changing? Yeah, you see that written down a lot in chord arrangements, and you're like, why is that written? What's going on? Is that an extra C chord? What's happening? That's a transitional, like it's like a trampoline, right? You're sitting there. Which is kind of handy, but you know, sometimes people notate it, sometimes people don't. I'm telling you, if you hit the opens, it's fine. Sounds cool. Adds another level. All right, where I was like, all right, E minor. I think it sounds so cool to just go up like from that G to the A. Everyone try it. Just go G. Finn, your little paw's okay. Yeah, your little paw's okay. Yeah. He scuffed it again on some rocks, burning around with some dogs, so he's licking like crazy. G. And then play it on your 4th fret. That's such a beautiful sound. You can add the 4th string into it, but I think that sound there, if you can get that, it's golden. Just as a side note, I use this shape. I use it a lot, and I like this as a B flat, depending on where I am, right? That's 5, 6, 5, because of course, now we're just playing this chord. We're using it as a movable chord shape, but it's not barred. Ah, the sweet life, right? Yeah, G on your 2nd fret, A on your 4th, B flat on your 5th fret. That's because that note there is a G. So that's determining the name of this chord as we go. G, A on the 5th fret. But that's the starting point there. If you get that, then you can start to move around. So this song, it's got some nice stuff for, for study and to, again, like with my lessons, I always think what I hope for is for people to feel comfortable coming up with their own arrangements of songs and doing their own thing, right? So when you're looking at this version, look at the original one where it's just got the melody, color in what you want, right? Put in the notes you want that make sense for you. You don't have to play it all the way I've written it. As I get all comfy now I'm going to dig in. Let's see, I'm just going to play the verse and just see what happens and what else I feel like doing, so that we've got some ideas. Okay, so first thought actually is where I'm not playing, I'm probably going to do little strums on the low strings. You're going to hear that. On that 2nd bar, right? Sorry, I'm hitting all the wrong notes now. I'll probably go. Yeah, I'll probably add extra strums in there too. Okay, as I'm playing this, I'm trying to think about everything I'm doing that might be handy to play around with right now. And something that I find that I do a lot if I'm strumming these songs is I will play the melody. If I'm doing 8th notes, you'll see me do that a lot, like pick up with my thumb. So you'll see sometimes it's all down, depends on the speed, depends on what I'm doing. But that might be something that would be worth looking at. Depends on how you feel, but I know that when I get going fast, if I'm doing a lot of strumming with my thumb, I do a lot of picking up too, because it's got the nail on it, so it's bright, right? I'm all into it now with shoulders up. I wonder why my neck gets sore. hard time I think a lot of times that third fret note on the first string, where I've got the, let me show you. Okay, like at the bottom here, under this F major 7, you could see where I was kind of fighting to go down to that third fret. Like that was one of the spots where I tended to keep hitting the note kind of funny. I think it's because I'm really used to playing up on the 8th fret for that note. So if you find that you have a hard time getting down there, that's where you may want to consider playing the 8th fret instead. I'll make that bigger. Oh, there we go. So if the 3rd fret feels funny, play it on string 2, fret 8 instead. Yeah. Oh, it's 10? How did that happen already? It's probably good because I was ready to really dig in. But, you know, when you're looking at this, look at the level 1, like I was saying, and add what you want to it. But really, G5, that G5 chord, use it a lot, man. Have a good time with it. Add in extra strums as you go. Once you get going down here, where you've got all these open, all these chords that you're not doing anything, like there's no melody over top of, you might want to do some picking. Okay, that's my final note. Strings I'm picking are mostly 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Or, no, if I want to try, I was picking. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, right? Yeah, that would be like a separate kind of little thing to play with. But 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 per bar to pick your strings would be a good time. And that's where you can improvise with those chords and start to just fiddle with them and have fun. So I hope that, you know, when I do these lessons, I try to give people different ideas based on their skill levels, because we're all sitting at different levels, right? So some of these things are going to work for you, some of them aren't. Take from it what works for you. And, you know, the big thing, no matter what, is to have fun when you're playing. That's the most important part of it. You know, if you're having fun, I mean, I know I look all sour and serious when I play, but I'm having a really good time. When I look my grumpiest is usually when I'm having a lot of fun. Oh, all right, I'm going to stop the recording, and I hope you guys enjoy this Neil Young tune all leveled up.